Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Ted Betancourt, and welcome to Peabody City Hall as we take a moment to honor and remember a very important moment in our nation's history. I'm going to be reading some information shortly and then a proclamation from our city, and then I'm going to be turning it over to some of our high school speakers that are here today, and then we're going to raise the flag to celebrate Juneteenth freedom. I want to recognize and thank from Senator Lovely's office, Rochelle. Thank you for being here, Rochelle. Thank you. Our State Representative, Tom Walsh. Thank you, Tom. Julie Curtis from the Democratic State Committee. Where's Julie? Thank you, Julie. I want to recognize and thank from the Superintendent, Josh Fidala, and his team. Thank you, Josh. We have our Fire Chief, Chief Jay Dowling here. Thank you, Chief. And very honored to have with us our Peabody Veterans Memorial High School students and teachers that are here today. So thank you all for being here. So on Freedom's Eve, on the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country, awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation has taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched into plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation end slavery throughout the United States. But not everyone in Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. And today we gather to honor and celebrate and pay respect to that important day in our nation's history, and are very proud to have the Juneteenth freedom be raised above City Hall. I'm going to read a proclamation shortly, but I'm actually going to hold off on that. And I wanted to ask our student speakers to come forward today. Sam, Gianna, and Lugina to come forward and speak, please.
Hi. I'll start us off with a poem by Langston Hughes called I Too. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to read a poem by Camille T. Dungy, and this poem is a reflection on erased history and deep ancestral love chosen for this year's Juneteenth commemoration. No, I do not know the date my great-grandmother was born. I do not know her name. She was born in Alabama. I do not know the name of the town. I do not know how she got from there to here. I do not know the color of her eyes or the texture of her hair, but I do know that she was loved.
When I was in middle school, I felt the pressures of stereotypes of being not only a woman, but being black. I was scared to speak up too loudly or dress differently in fear of being seen as ghetto or uneducated. I was scared to speak for myself for a long time, that people would continue to call me aggressive or angry for who I am. I found my voice in seeing other women who looked like me on TV achieve things, whether it be sports, education, music, or arts. Sometimes all it takes is that one black woman to strive for her goals and break the stereotypes for everyone else. So in the words of a politician, educator, and author Shirley Anita Chisholm in 1968, who became the first black woman to be elected in the United States Congress, she once said, we must reject not only the stereotypes that others hold of us, but also the stereotypes that we hold on ourselves. This quote means to me that we shouldn't limit our capabilities just to fit the narrative of society forces onto us. Thank you.
Please stay here, stay here. I want you to raise the flag with me. All right, and I want to thank Mrs. Prouty, Mrs. Dobson, Mrs. Henry for your support and helping to arrange this event this morning, and Superintendent Vidala and Assistant Superintendent Chase and the whole school administration team, Principal Randall as well. I do have a proclamation, and then I'm going to ask the students to join me in raising the flag today. A proclamation from the City of Peabody. Whereas 2025 is the 160th year of Juneteenth Freedom Day, a nationally recognized day which celebrates the rich culture, legacy, and heritage of African Americans. And whereas Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the abolition of slavery in the United States dating back to June 19, 1865, when Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas, with news that the war had ended, freeing the enslaved. And whereas this was 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which became official on January 1st, 1863. And whereas today, Juneteenth Freedom Day celebrates African American freedom and achievement while encouraging continuous self-development and respect for all cultures, as it takes on a more national, symbolic, and even global perspective to ensure the events of 1865 are not forgotten. And whereas in 2007, Massachusetts became the 25th state to recognize Juneteenth Freedom Day, with the firm understanding and realization that all cultures share a common respect for freedom. Now, therefore, I, as mayor, do hereby proclaim that June 19th will be celebrated in Peabody, Massachusetts as Juneteenth Freedom Day. We strongly urge all residents of the city to recognize and celebrate annually this nationally recognized commemoration which honors the history, legacy, and culture of African Americans throughout our city. And I wanted to present this to Lugina. Okay. Ready to raise the flag? Okay. All right, please go on over. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Okay, thank you again.